What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Bengals Crypt podcast. If I sound a little quiet, look a little disheveled, I just woke up. Supposed to do this hours ago. So I'm going to try to power through this. So maybe a little bit faster than I intended. Give me 1 second. Just making sure the stream is working. Sorry, taking a little longer than it should. Cause I had stuff up and then yeah. Alright, but we are live. Sweet. Alright. I have quite a few notes from the Panthers game I wanted to discuss. I'm not going to get to all of them. I'll probably summarize quite a bit of them. So, for a couple of things that I noticed off the first defensive drive is that the run defense is much better. Cam Taylor Britt is still getting cooked. He kind of got benched, but not really. It was more of a, hey, you're not doing too hot today. Let's get some other people a lot more reps. Um, and then the goal line defense, we had the goal line stand. Deontay Johnson, the pass intended for him got broken up by Dax Hill. And then Christian Jenkins made the tackle for loss that ended everything for the Panthers on that opening drive. And then for our first offensive drive, say the running game was okay. But then T. Higgins got involved. Like, I really liked what we did with him in this game. Got involved really quickly. That way he's. I want to stay through the last. Oh, dang, I can't. Never mind. Reflection is killing me. But, Ryan Rico had a couple really good punts in this one. So, obviously, that first drive ended in a punt, but it was a really good drive until the punt, and the punt was pretty solid. So the next drive, Trey Anderson ended up getting contact with the ball right before Dalton released it, resulted in a Von Bell interception. That was a huge momentum changing play. We ended up getting a touchdown off of it with Chase Brown, who I personally think should be the starter. Like the main reps, they split reps perfectly last game, and he had 80, Moss had 50. Technically, the numbers are pretty solid regardless, but if you're looking at it from a yards per carry perspective, Moss wasn't over 4. Just something to think about. All right, Mims had a few more struggles. He went a little wide on one of his blocks, and then the defender jumped right inside the hole he had opened up. So that wasn't good, but he's improving. He's working to get to where he needs to be, and I think he's doing really good. Right, DJ Turner made a good play to break up a pass, but then we gave up the fourth down, and then there's a whole bunch of big runs, and Chuba Hubbard ended up getting a touchdown. So we are seeing a little bit of regression from that run defense that we saw earlier in the day. Um, the Jamar Chase 63-yard touchdown was huge. I mean, that's Jamar being Jamar. I read that he ended up taking or tying the record for most 60 plus yard receiving touchdowns before the age of 25. And he doesn't turn 25 till March, so he just needs one more this season, and he will have the record all to himself. Speaking of Erica actually, I don't think I said anything. There's a note in there about him, but Erica got involved pretty much the same amount, but it's like his yardage is increasing. He's getting 4 catches every game, but his yards are increasing every time. He's also getting a lot more usage as a fullback. I mean, we've had Drew Sample and Mike Gesicki back there too, but he's the number one guy we've had back there for most of the reps. All right, and he's doing pretty good. I like that we're finally using a tight end or a fullback, not necessarily a tight end at fullback, but a fullback. All right, there's some 3-and-outs. Ryan Rico had another good where the backpedaling about return technically out or good field position around the 17. It looked more like the 10, but then they had that fake punt. Oh, I got nervous during that because that was a good pass. And then Dejon Anthony came across and broke it up. I was like, where's the PI? If it was the Chiefs, it's PI. Poor Dejon Anthony over here taking stats from him. Um, Not too much else in here is too important. Just for the most part, the offense kind of slowed down a little bit, and then the defense stepped down in a major way with the 2 touchdowns they gave up. But I mean, their whole game is going to be rough. But as much as I would love to talk way more about that, I am trying to get through this a little quickly because I work in the morning. So let's slide over to my NFL predictions. I've got Cincinnati over Baltimore. Reason being, we play best when we're angry. Joe Burrow got injured against the Falcons last year. Their fans were talking trash. They were doing all this stupid stuff about it. Use that as fuel. We can win this game. We're getting all our D linemen back except for Sheldon Rankins. It's just well, and Cam Sample he's out for the year, but it's really starting to. We're getting healthy. I think unfortunately Mike Hilton's probably gonna miss this one because we elevated Jalen Davis from the practice squad, but I think we've made some good moves there, and that anger is gonna throw us into the victory column. I've got. Hold on, it clicked on an ad or something. I've got the Vikings over the Jets. Hold on, let me. Not that much. Vikings over the Jets. Turn down the brightness there a little bit. Think the Vikings have got it. Should be a blowout, to be honest. I think Aaron Rodgers is good. Team's doing good. Well, they're 2-2. And I think the Vikings are going to get back on track after that close game last week. Also have the Panthers beating the Bears. Surprisingly, I think Andy Dalton is still doing really good. if he doesn't win this game, they probably go back to Bryce Young. Just because I think they never intended to have Dalton starting the entire time. Is more so like, yeah, let's give him Bryce Young a little bit of rest. He's clearly panicking back there, a little stress. So also have the Pats over the Dolphins. I predicted the Dolphins to win last week with Tyler Huntley, and they did terrible. And it was against the Colts. Now you're playing an even better defense. I don't want to hear about it. You're losing. And then they win. And I also have a feeling if they lose or they do end up winning, we're going to see Drake May next week. Got Washington over the Browns. I think Washington just says the better team. They're gelling right now. They're 3-1 on top of their division. They're really moving things in the right direction. Could it be a trap game? Sure. I think that would come more like next week. I've got the Colts winning over Jacksonville. I think that the Jaguars are just garbage. 0-4. They had 2 first round picks in the last 5 years. They're about to get a third one. Bills Texans. I got the Texans here. It was a hard choice. The Bills are coming off that loss to the Ravens. And I think they'll still be good, but I think they're going to take a little bit of a slump here. Texans are also in a little bit of a down week after last week, but I think it's going to be a really tight game, hard to predict. But I think the Texans will come out on top in a shootout. Got the Raiders over the Broncos. I'm not too confident in this one. The Raiders have been spiraling. I think it's just going to be one of those weird division games. The Broncos haven't beaten the Raiders in forever, unless they did it last year. But it's been a while, unless they did it last year. Which actually does say their last meeting. No, but I know Raiders have been on top of the Broncos a lot recently. We got 49ers and Cardinals. I think it's going to be a close matchup. I think the 49ers are going to go out on top. They're going to contain Marvin Harrison a little bit more than most of these other teams have. So I think that defense is just really good. And if the Cardinals win, the Cardinals win. But anytime they played a big opponent, other than the Bills in week 1, they didn't really perform. So I'm predicting the same thing to happen here. All right, the Packers and the Rams. I got the Packers. I think I underestimated them last week with Jordan Love coming back. I said it would be a close game, and it was. But definitely wasn't expecting 3 interceptions from Jordan Love. But I think he's going to get back on track. He's not going to do that again. Seattle over the Giants, I think that's pretty clear. But I'm not going to explain myself there. I think we all understand. Even especially Malik Neighbors is out. They're cooked. Got Dallas over Pittsburgh. Dallas has been spiraling. They're looking for something to get back on track. And I think Pittsburgh is finally going to start losing games. They're just, they lost last week. And I don't see Justin Fields saving them forever. Now, is Micah Parsons playing? I don't know. I'm pretty sure he's about to have some crazy surgery and be out for a while, so that could definitely play a factor. And then finally, I have the Chiefs losing to the Saints. Obviously, this is a bit of a risk. The Saints Saints are 2-2 now. They've lost their last two. I think they're going to get it back on track though. The Chiefs have been struggling. And if you look at a high powered offense like the Saints, if they don't get their offense back on track, they're not winning. This is the last time they'll beat a bad team until they or beat a good team until they get things back on track. And just so you guys see, I did a short for it. I did say Tampa would win, and Atlanta ended up going out on top on that one. It's not a good start to the week. Let's do a bold prediction real quick. Mine was actually right from last week. We ended up getting over the 130 mark, 125, whatever I had said for the rushing combined. It was 80 something and 50 something for Moss and Brown with 2 touchdowns, which I think was also part of it. But now with the improved D line, I'm predicting 3 intercept or no, oh goodness, no. 3 sacks on Lamar. 1 is hard enough. But I think if we are able to contain him like we have in some of the more recent games, not saying we completely contained him, but we limited his rushing role. If we could do that again, and we're also playing well like we typically do against Derrick Henry, I think it could be a pretty good game for the D line, but we'll have to see what they're able to do. I'm predicting, or not predicting, bold take is going to be 3 sacks. We definitely would not do that if it was Trent Nixon was out. But I think that's just a pretty good one to go with there. Yeah, I don't really have much else to talk about here after we ran through the game real quick and really went through my prediction. You know what? I went 9-8 last week in my predictions. So let's go ahead and get a calculator going. 13 plus 8 plus 8 plus 9 is 38. And then it's going to be 3 plus 8 plus 8 plus 7. I am 38 of 26 in predictions. At least there's that 12 game gap there. But who they know, you Bengals fans out there. I'll see you in the next one and have a good day. Hopefully we're able to get the win tomorrow.